Hello everybody, Infernape Shinjo here, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Anime. And today I am here with two topics from you, and I am going to discuss them. The first topic up for today is Re:Zero. Now, I can obviously see the main reason that people wanted me to discuss Re:Zero. The new season's happening right now, so it's kind of a hot topic thing to talk about now, so it makes perfect sense. So, going into the first episode, I already knew stuff that happens in the show. I don't know specific details. All I know is Giguk's abridged version of it that he made.
Main love interest incoming! Hi, I'm Amelia.
I'm in love with you.
What? We literally just met 5 minutes ago.
Will you be my waifu?
What the hell is a wife?
Shh, it's already done.
And I know the whole meme of Subaru falling in love with Amelia instead of Rem, and Rem not being best girl or whatever. And I know that there's a scene in the show that Rem kind of goes berserk. I don't know the context of it. I haven't gotten that far. To be fair, I went into the first episode thinking, okay, I wonder what's gonna happen. And it's almost an hour long. That kind of threw me for a loop. But I'm sure that anybody here knows what Re:Zero is already, so I'll just get into the stuff that I liked about it. The first thing that I liked is at the very start of the episode, Subaru's going to that convenience store, and it shows like different scenes of him at the convenience store mixed with these horror scenes. I don't know what that's about. I can only assume that it's gonna be in the world that he goes to later, but I really like that because it just kind of jumps out at you at first and gets you interested. And more on that, I guess I should discuss this, that I watched the dub of this. I don't know if it really matters much, rather sub or dub, besides voices, but I think Subaru's dub voice is pretty good. I feel like he does a good job of saying, hey, I'm in a new world, and literally overreacting because of it. And this isn't really a big thing, but it's something that I feel the need to mention because it's an isekai. I'm really glad that Subaru doesn't start off being broken, because like, you got anime like Overlord and Sword Art Online where main character goes into the isekai world and they're already broken. It kind of diminishes any threat that might happen. And obviously I've seen screenshots and clips of this show before, but watching it in real time in the actual episode, the artwork is pretty good. I saw that it was done by White Fox, which also did Cautious Hero a little bit back, so maybe White Fox is the new isekai person. Now on to the negatives, and I did kind of mention this already, that I went into the first episode not knowing it's an hour long, but it's not too terribly of a big deal because Kanata no Astra had an hour long first episode and last episode. But the only real issue is that I went into the first episode not expecting it to be that long. And the only other thing that I can see, now, I probably should bring this up, that I only saw the first half of the first episode. I think the last clip that I saw was Subaru and Amelia on the bridge after they interact with the shopkeeper that they saved his kid. I don't think I went too much further after that. It's been a couple of days since I've seen it, so a couple of things that I mention and hypothesize about might not actually be the case, but it's my video, so there. The questions that I'm having is like, okay, Subaru interacts with the thugs. Okay, that's all well and good. Amelia saves him, and instead of saying, hey, I'm not from around here, I'm from Japan, for example. I think that's actually probably what it is because anime. But like, is it that hard for Subaru just to say, hey, I'm from Japan or I'm not from around here? Although at the same time, saying that might make you look kind of crazy, because I don't remember what this place is called, but I know it's not called Japan. So him just saying, I'm from this faraway place that nobody's ever heard of, might get him some funny looks. But it's just like, he dances around it. Now, it might just be shell-shocked that he can't think straight, or he might be just dumb, I'm not sure. I know that he gets along with Kazuma pretty well, so he might be dumb. Now, I'm not sure how much of a meme this actually is. Again, I probably am only taking this from Gigak's little abridged version of it, but I know that a lot of people make fun of Subaru loving Emilia instead of Rem, but to be fair, in the context of the first episode, he's being beaten down by thugs, and she saves him. I wouldn't really call it, what's it called? Stockholm Syndrome? I wouldn't call it that, but like, she literally saved him. It makes sense that he would fall in love with her. Plus, he's like the first girl that he's seen. But I would say my final verdict on it is pretty good first episode, a very strong episode. I really liked it. Like I said, I know it gets darker, but I enjoy Gakko Garashi. It's not gonna be on the same level of dark, I'm sure, but there are some times that I really enjoy dark stuff. Now, obviously, I'm gonna continue watching this because it was a pretty good first episode, but I still got a lot of stuff to watch at the moment, especially for this channel and in my own time, so whenever I finish it, I'll finish it. But to be fair, the first season is 20 some episodes, the second season is just starting, so I'm probably just gonna wait until the second season is done at least, that way I don't have to wait week to week. So on to the next topic, it is Trails of Cold Steel. I don't think this is the correct poster, I don't know. It says Trails of Cold Steel on the poster that I downloaded, so I can only assume that it's the same, but you guys can figure it out, you're smart. So just like with Death End Request, Wishing T-Cal comes in again for another gameplay with no commentary. I searched around and it took me a bit to find one with no commentary, and thank goodness I did, because watching a game when somebody else is playing it, kind of ironic for me to say this, is kind of annoying, especially if it's a game that you're not familiar with. But like, I went into the first episode of this, and I was thrown off guard that it literally has an anime opening. There's like a 3-minute long introduction that is literally an anime opening. The only other thing that I can mention as far as the anime opening, besides it being pretty catchy, is Millium was just threw me off guard in that opening. Like, it showed all these characters, and then just Millium pops out of nowhere smiling, and I'm just like, who is that? Because most of the time speaking, characters with blue hair, I really like them. Fumino Furuhashi from Bokuben, Lana from Pokemon. I'm sure there are other examples. Rem from ReZero, there you go. But like, I was thrown off guard. I didn't know who that was, but I really liked the design. And I really liked her dub voice. I looked on a clip, and her dub voice is pretty good. And to be fair, the whole dub cast is pretty good. I can't think off the top of my head who is here, but I know that they have a lot of good voice actors. To be fair, you could look up the list yourself. I'll probably put a couple on here that I feel like a lot of people would know. But like, I know they have a lot of different powerhouse dub voice actors. I don't think they have anybody to the echelon of Veronica Taylor or Sean Schemmel, but I think they got some pretty good voice actors and actresses for this game. The only other pro that I can give it is I really like the music. Like, when they're fighting, the background music is pretty good. But unfortunately, that's about all that I can give it. On to the cons. Like Death End Request, it's pretty long. It's a lot to walk through. And especially for someone like me that I don't think I have the console that I can play this on. I don't know if it's on PC, I'm sure it is. But like, there's only so many hours in the day, and I'm already spending a lot of them making videos, getting ideas for videos. So playing video games is kind of on the back foot. And I'm not sure if it's just me, but the huge cast that's shown at the very start, the 3D models look kind of weird. Now, I don't know when this game came out. I didn't bother to look up a date, but I can only imagine that either this company that makes this game isn't familiar with 3D models, or it's supposed to look like that, because there are just some points that the models just look kind of strange. I would have liked it better if they would have stuck with the design that they used in the anime opening at the very start, because I really liked that. And more to the point of the huge cast, is there a reason that the characters aren't fully introduced? Like, I think there was one guy that gets a name, but that's it. Everybody else, the text box shows blonde boy or female instructor. Is there a reason that not everybody gets introduced? It might be because of the large cast, but I'm just here wondering, why are they called blonde boy? Because that could literally be Edward Elric. And to be honest, from the gameplay that I've seen, it's pretty linear and a little bit boring. Now, I didn't see much of it, so that might be just the tutorial level. But if it gets better, I don't know. I can eat my words. But just from what I've seen, I'm not really impressed with the gameplay. I'm more impressed with Millium, I guess. But yeah, I would say overall, it's a well-designed game. The models look kind of weird at times, but just like Death End Request, it's not going to be something that I personally watch or personally play because it's a lot to play through. But I still got one topic for today, and instead of going for another topic that you guys have suggested, I'm going for an anime that I've been watching recently that I've been really falling in love with. You already know what it is from the title and thumbnail. It is Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic, or the Kingdom of Magic. It's one of the two, I can't remember. But this anime, I think it's a shonen? I don't remember specifically, but I feel like it has to be shonen, just from how it is. This anime is pretty good. I've only seen 5 or 6 episodes so far, but this anime is really good. I really like the world design, like the whole Egyptian aesthetic is really good, especially for somebody that liked that season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where they went to ancient Egypt. I really like it. And the character designs, Aladdin, Alibaba, Morgiana, I really like those 3 designs. To be fair, a lot of the designs are pretty good. And I would know off an instant where they're from just looking at them, because they have those designs that basically scream Egyptian, if that makes sense. But I can't even think about anything that I can say about this anime that I haven't already said before. The main characters are pretty good. From what I can gather from the opening, Morgiana eventually joins the group, so looking forward to that. And like the whole bleak aesthetic with some of the characters owning slaves, and the whole thing of Aladdin being a Magi, and the whole world building and how they build it up is really good. Honestly, if this show keeps on impressing me the way it has, I might have to revisit this for another video. But just from 5 or 6 episodes into the first season, it's really good, very spot on. Honestly, even the opening, I wasn't too keen on at first, but now it's playing in my head on repeat. The only con that I can think of is Aladdin, I guess, is the main character. I guess he's one of the main characters, if anything. He's kind of dense at times, but it's a shonen, and he's the main character, or one of the main characters, so it's not too surprising that he's dense. At least that's how it seems to me. But this anime is really good. I don't think there's been many anime that have pulled me in in only a handful of episodes, like Magi has. But that is the end of today's episode of Let's Talk Anime. Just like always, if you have any suggestions for anything for me to discuss in this series, leave them down in the comment section. I'll get to them when I get a chance. And more importantly than anything, make sure you watch Magi. I know it's 2 seasons, but I'm going to take the time out of my day to watch this show. So I hope that you will as well. But I will see you in the next episode. Momentai.